Hello everybody, today back in another video. Oh boy, we had 128 players when this Wimbledon edition 2025 started 10 days ago. And now we have only 8 left men standing. It is quarterfinal time, my tennis friends all around the world, and I'm here to preview these quarterfinal matches. I'm here to talk about them. I'm here to say who I believe will win these matches and progress to the semifinals. And without any further ado, my tennis friends all around the world, let's get started. I will start with the matches that are on Tuesday, the first quarterfinal matches that are on Tuesday, and then I will finish with the matches that are on Wednesday. All right, the matches that are on Tuesday are between Taylor Fritz versus Karen Khachanov and Carlos Alcaraz versus Cameron Norrie. All right, let's start with Taylor Fritz versus Karen Khachanov. Taylor, who is in the quarterfinal at Wimbledon for the second time. No, second time. I believe it is the third time. Yeah, I believe it is the third time he's in the quarterfinal at Wimbledon. The first one he played back in 2022, if I'm not mistaken. 3 years ago, where he lost against injured Rafa Nadal in 5 sets. If not, my memory is failing me. So that was the first time he played quarterfinal at Wimbledon, if I'm not mistaken. And then second time he played, and in that match he was not the favorite to win it. Nadal was the favorite to win it, and Nadal did it in 5 sets. Even though Nadal towards the end of that match was not healthy, but he won it anyway. So that is not any great. That was never a great. News for Taylor to be losing against a player who is not 100% healthy. All right, so and then Taylor's second quarterfinal appearance in a Grand Slam in Wimbledon was in last year, actually, at Wimbledon, when he faced Lorenzo Musetti. And in that match, he was actually the favorite. But he lost it. Even though he was the favorite in last year's quarterfinal match against Musetti, he lost. I actually predicted Taylor to win that match against Musetti last year at Wimbledon, I remember. But Musetti proved me wrong and defeated Taylor Fritz in that quarterfinal match and advanced to the semifinal. Anyway, Taylor Fritz is facing Karen Khachanov. The head-to-head is 2-0 to Karen Khachanov, but they have not faced each other in many years. Last time they faced each other was 5-6 years ago. They have not faced each other recently. Those 2 matches that they faced each other was 5-6 years ago, all right? And both of those two encounters, actually Karen Khachanov has won. But Taylor Fritz is a completely different player now. So even though Taylor has never defeated Karen Khachanov, that doesn't necessarily mean that Taylor is the underdog in this quarterfinal match. And according to me, it is Taylor who is the favorite here. I believe that, of course, this match can go either way. You never know. Taylor was the favorite last year against Musetti as well, but we know that how that went in that quarterfinal match against Musetti in last year's Wimbledon quarterfinal match. The same thing is here. Taylor is the favorite against Karen Khachanov, according to me, and will he deliver? Will he win that match against Karen Khachanov and play that semifinal? I think he will. I think Taylor is. I don't know. I just feel that those 2 losses that Taylor has at Karen Khachanov 5-6 years ago, it is a completely different player now. He's a better player now, Taylor. He's a more consistent player now. He's a more backable player now. He's a more attackable. He does more damage behind his serve and behind his forehand than what the case was 5-6 years ago when he lost against Karen Khachanov. So I believe Taylor will win this match in 4 sets. I don't think he will do it in straights though. I believe Karen will take 1 set. That is my feeling. That is what I believe. All right. So I believe Taylor Fritz will make it to his first ever Wimbledon semifinal. He has never been in a Wimbledon semifinal before. All right. Let's go to the second quarterfinal match on Tuesday. which is between Carlos Alcaraz versus Cameron Norrie. Cameron Norrie, who is making his second quarterfinal appearance in Wimbledon. He has been here before, if I'm not mistaken, so this one will be his second. The deepest run he has done at Wimbledon, Cameron Norrie, is actually in a semi-final which he lost against Novak Djokovic in 4 sets, if I'm not mistaken. And that was back in 2022, if my memory is not failing me. Yeah, I'm pretty confident that it was in 2022 where he lost against Novak Djokovic in semi-final. So Cameron Norrie is making to his second Wimbledon quarterfinal, and he will face Carlos Alcaraz there, who we all know that is a double Wimbledon. He's a double defending champion in Wimbledon from 2023 and 2024. The head-to-head is 4-2 to Carlos Alcaraz. So he leads the head-to-head 4-2. But they've not faced each other in a while. I think last time they faced each other was last year in Rio de Janeiro or something like that, on clay. It was a final, so it is huge credit to Cameron Norrie to defeat Carlos Alcaraz in a final. It has not many players who can defeat Carlos Alcaraz and who has defeated Carlos Alcaraz in finals. Carlos Alcaraz, we all know that he's a big match player. He's a clutch player. He's, for me personally, has never seen a more clutcher tennis player than Carlos Alcaraz in this young age. He's an unbelievable clutch player, Carlos Alcaraz, and he doesn't lose many finals, especially big finals. That match that he lost, that final that he lost against Cameron Norrie, was not a big final. It was not a Master 1000 final or Grand Slam final, absolutely not, but it still was a final. But I remember it was last year, and it was just after Carlos came back from injury. So Carlos had been injured a couple of months, and he just came back from injury, and it was in that time that Cameron Norrie caught up and defeated Carlos Alcaraz. Carlos was not he was not playing on the tour in a regular basis, and was not healthy on the tour on a regular basis in that period of time where Cam Norrie took him and defeated him in that final. Carlos recently came back from injury, if I remember it correctly. Anyway, nevertheless, it is always great news when you defeat Carlos Alcaraz in a final. So Cam Norrie has done that. Anyway, it is 4-2 to Cameron Norrie, to Carlos Alcaraz in that head-to-head, but I believe that it will stop this match tomorrow on Tuesday. I believe that Carlos will be too strong for Cameron Norrie, too consistent, too powerful. He will have too much variation in his game, and we all know that Carlos Alcaraz, even though he loses sets here and there, which he always does in Grand Slams, he never goes through a Grand Slam tournament flawless. So he always loses sets, and he always goes into 5 sets. That has been the case in all his 5 Grand Slam titles that he has won. He has played 5 sets in all of them, but he has won all of those 5 sets when he has won his 5 Grand Slam titles. So that doesn't, but it will not be easy for Carlos. Cam Norrie is a lefty. He has that lefty serve, that lefty slight serve, and his ball stays low. He has a pretty flat backhand, so the ball will not bounce high, especially not on this surface with grass. We all know that on grass the ball bounces not very high. So I don't think that Carlos Alcaraz will steamroll Cam Norrie. I really don't think so. Maybe he defeats him in straight sets. I will not be shocked if he does that, but I don't think he will do that. I think that Cam Norrie will take 1 set at least. And I think Carlos Alcaraz will advance and defeat Cam Norrie in this quarterfinal match in 4 sets and make it to that semifinal. So I think that Taylor Fritz and Carlos Alcaraz will face each other in the semifinal on the bottom section of the draw. All right, Now let's talk about the quarterfinal matches on Wednesday and the match from the top section of the draw. We will begin with Yannick Sinner versus Ben Shelton. The head-to-head is 5-1 to Yannick Sinner in his favor. Ben Shelton has won their first ever meeting, and after that, Yannick Sinner has won 5 consecutive matches against Ben Shelton. And talking about Yannick Sinner, he had unbelievable luck to come through Grigor Dimitrov in his 4th round match when he was 2-0 down, and he came just miraculously through against Dimitrov. Dimitrov was playing light touch tennis. He was attacking Yannick Sinner. He was playing flawless tennis with big serving, great serving, 14 aces and 3 double faults he did in 2.5 sets. And Grigor Dimitrov, my dark horse coming into this tournament. I have 4 dark horses coming to this tournament: Shapovalov, RBA, Fonseca, and Dimitrov. Dimitrov was the one who did the deepest run and made it to 4th round. I didn't believe that Dimitrov will trouble Yannick Sinner this much. I really didn't believe that, but he did. He took a 2-0 lead, and with great serving, great shot making skills, attacking the net, playing slice. He was doing great slices, and that ball was not bouncing high, and really bothered Sinner so really much. So, and who knows, if Dimitrov would have not got injured, he maybe would have won that match. He was definitely in a really great position to win that match. But you never know. Grand Slam matches of best of 5 sets, and but he was heartbroken. This is tennis. Tennis is not only defeating your opponent with points. You need to also defeat your opponent with physicality and with your body. That's why it is the last man standing who wins the tennis matches. And Sinner didn't defeat Grigor with points, but he did that with last man standing. And afterwards, Sinner said, "I don't take this match as a victory, but I'm through." He knows that he didn't. When the match was over, Sinner won 65 points, Dimitrov won 79 points. So Dimitrov won 14 more points than Sinner after 2 sets of a half. But Dimitrov could not finish the match. You don't see very often a player who is 2-0 up in the lead and retire. You don't see that. You really don't do it. Maybe this is the first ever time I've seen this. But anyway, Sinner is through. So players like Djokovic is of course pissed off about this, because Djokovic, he doesn't want to face Sinner and Alcaraz back to back. He doesn't want that, and he knows that if he does that, which is most likely he will do, he will have very little chance to win his 25th Grand Slam title. So he wants to face only one of them. His biggest wish is to not face neither of them. But he knows that will not happen. He most likely will be forced to face one of them, like he was last year. He faced only one of them at Wimbledon last year, which was Carlos in the final, and he wanted that to happen this year as well, to just only face one of them, Carlos in the final, because most likely Carlos will be in that final. I will be surprised and shocked if Carlos doesn't make it to that final. So of course, all these players, the players who's most pissed off that Sinner didn't lose and that Dimitrov got injured after 2 sets is Djokovic. Of course, Djokovic is not happy that Sinner make it through. Of course not. He wants to face more Dimitrov than he wants to face Sinner, a player that he has not defeated in 2 years. Anyway, Dimitrov played lights out tennis against Sinner, and unfortunately for him, he got injured, and very fortunate for Sinner to make it through. So Sinner is not sad about this. He really is not sad about this, Yannick Sinner. Anyway, Sinner will play against Ben Shelton, who is leading 5-1 in the head-to-head. By the way, Shelton was also pissed off. Shelton would have rather faced Dimitrov than he would face Sinner. So Sinner has got a second chance here, according to me. He has got a second chance. And do I believe he will take the second chance? He has got a second chance to progress in the tournament and maybe even win it. I don't think he will win it. He's not my number one favorite. He's definitely not my number one favorite, Sinner. So he has got a second chance here. So I believe he will take this second chance to at least progress in the tournament. That's his second chance, to at least progress in the tournament and make it to that semi-final. So I believe Sinner will defeat Ben Shelton in 4 sets. That is my feeling. I think that Sinner will defeat Ben Shelton in four sets. That is my feeling. So I believe Sinner defeats Ben Shelton in 4 sets. I think Shelton will give Sinner a run for his money and take 1 set. But they faced each other last time at Australian Open earlier this year, where Sinner won in straight sets. Shelton didn't take 1 single set in that Australian Open match earlier this year. So I think that it will be the same scenario here as well. I think here Ben will take 1 set. That is my feeling. I think Ben takes 1 set here with serving, but more than so, I just don't like Ben Shelton's returns. Especially, I don't like Ben Shelton's backhand. I think Ben Shelton's backhand he cannot match. Ben Shelton's backhand is so weak that Sinner will attack Ben Shelton's backhand so much, and he will squeeze so many unforced from that side that I don't know how Ben Shelton will take more than 1 set, if he even takes 1 set. So I think Sinner takes out Ben in 4 sets and progresses and goes through to that semi-final. And the last quarterfinal is between Novak Djokovic and the Italian dude, the Italian superstar, who is 23 years old, who is having a great season so far, who has won 2 titles this year. His first 2 titles in his career has come this year. Cabello, whatever his name is. So they faced each other only once, which was last year at Indian Wells, a match where Djokovic won a straight set. But Cabello is a much better player now than he was last year. So I don't know. I think that Cabello will give Djokovic a run for his money. I don't think Djokovic will have an easy time defeating Cabello because Djokovic we saw against Diminaur. Djokovic lost the first set 6-1 after getting broken 3 times in that first set. And Djokovic dropped his serve many times against Diminaur, and actually was 2-4 down in that 4th set. But Djokovic, all credit to Djokovic, who won 4 straight games, and then in the end won that 4th set 6-4, because Djokovic didn't want to go to that 5th set against Diminaur. So, but you could see that in that match against Diminaur that Djokovic was vulnerable. He won only 69% behind his first serve. That is the lowest percentage of first serve Viet has won the entire tournament. In all his 3 matches, Djokovic has won over 80% behind his first serve in all of his 3 matches. But in the match against Diminaur, Djokovic won only 69% behind his first serve, and 41% he won behind his second serve against Diminaur, and did 44 unforced errors and 38 winners. So he does 6 more unforced errors than winners in the match against Diminaur. So you can see that when somebody takes the ball early, when somebody plays fast, when somebody plays aggressive like Diminaur did in his 4th round match, you can hurt Djokovic. But all the credit Djokovic, he's not super young anymore. He's 38 freaking years old, and he's playing his 16th Wimbledon quarterfinal. So of course, this Italian player who's 23 years old, 15 years younger than Djokovic, of course, I believe he can give Novak Djokovic a run for his money, and I think he will do that. That is my feeling. I don't think that Djokovic will steamroll him. Maybe he will do. I will not be shocked if Djokovic steamrolls him. Absolutely not. Djokovic is the favorite. Definitely. I'm not predicting an upset here. Absolutely not. But I think that Cabello will take 1 set. That is my feeling. So I think Novak will win this quarterfinal match against this Italian dude in 4 sets and make it to that semifinal, and in that semifinal face Jannik Sinner. So I believe that from these quarterfinal matches, I think that from the bottom section of the draw, Carlos Alcaraz and Taylor Fritz will face each other, and from the top section of the draw, Jannik Sinner and Novak Djokovic will face each other in that on the top section of the draw. All right, guys, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give a thumbs up, subscribe. See you next time. Peace.